Chepstow Castle, the outer part of Chepstow Castle, and the rain has started. It is spitting and there are some ominous looking clouds coming over the top of that castle. We're going to go and join the queue because there does seem to be a queue forming. There's some bits of windows. These look like old window arches. The different phases maybe of the castle. This looks much older obviously than this bit. And that would be a fireplace just there. So this area is the kitchen. It was built between 1272 and 1284. And that bit there is apparently a hatch. It's a very big hatch if you ask me, where the, I guess, the staff would have passed food through and the other staff would have run it off up the stairs to those waiting to be fed. And through here we should find the river cliff. This was the area that they pulled boats up outside and then winched up goods and products that they needed, food, that kind of stuff, to be brought into the castle. Look at the size of those windows. And then there's a drainage ditch down here where I guess they would just wash everything away and it'd all be slushed down into the river below. Imo, could I please bother you for some I'm not sure, what did they serve back in the olden days?
Turnips.
I'd like some turnips please for his lordship. Thanks very much. I shall run them up to his lordship now. Goodness me. I bet they made an awful lot of food and some very strange recipes at that. Oh, do I need the loo? Is this... Do I need a loo?
Well, here it is.
Or is it the guard robe or something, isn't it called? Is that what it's called? Guard something? Guard something? Yeah. Oh,
God, that you don't drop your robe down there.
Look at that. And now there's some air around your nether regions.
Be very breezy.
It would be very... Can you imagine how cold that would be? Oh, can you imagine if you dropped your phone down there when you're going to the toilet?
Yeah, well, careful.
I bet that was a problem they had all too often, wasn't it? Dropping mobile phones,
Yeah,
their keys to their car.
Might drop their tablet, maybe.
Might the tablet. Yeah, you never know. Bits of armour on the rattling knights. Now we're going to head off this way into the passage, and the passage is where they had all their running around, the servants. Servant, could you go do what you've been asked to do? Thank you. She knows her place. And then, actually, servant, could you come back? I'd like wine from the wine cellar, please, for his lordship. I'll come with you, make sure you do it properly. So we're going to head off and get some wine for his lordship from the wine cellar. Don't loiter, come on. Could you bring the wine, please?
But you don't drink wine, and neither do I.
No, I know, but I'd like you to bring it up here so we can have it on the veranda. They say location, location, location is everything, and I'm a little concerned that down here there is the toilet hatches, which are right next to the food delivery hatches, and it's incredibly close to the wine veranda. And nobody wants a nasty whiff on their wine veranda, do they? I mean, let's be honest. It's not great for entertaining, is it? Wow. Now those are some lovely old vaulted ceilings in the wine cellar. And it's very, very cool. Very cool indeed. And this is where the wine was delivered, but it didn't come in bottles. It came in huge, great big barrels from down below. And then it came in through this hatch on a big pulley. Right, let's ascend the stairs to the Great Hall. Imagine some tables. That music probably helps. A bit of revelry. And a lot of wine. And a lot of meat, probably. Look at the staircase. There you go. There was me saying try and imagine. Well, you don't have to because they've got a helpful picture. I'm going to go up the very modern staircase and enter. I'm not sure what this bit is. Let's have a look. Oh wow, look at the fireplace. I wonder if this was part of the Great Hall as well. Now I guess this staircase was linked to the other doorways down there that would have taken you down to the cellars and the servant areas. And they would have been able to move through the castle without anybody being disturbed. I think we will find that this is the original sewer pipe from the original, from the original construction of this fine building. I'm sure internal plumbing was part of the plan. One of the towers. Oh, look. A little fireplace. Little hearth to keep us warm. I'm thinking of becoming a chimney sweep. This chimney's bigger than my house. We're a bunch of silly sausages, aren't we? And now we're in the main bailey of the castle. A nice place to hang out, isn't it? Imo, I think it's a bit of a fixer-upper. Can we knock them down a bit? No, I don't mean actually knock it down. I mean the price.
Oh, yeah, right.
This is what you call vlogger Tai Chi.
I was trying to get my shots stable. I was going back and forth, but one of them will be smooth, and if it's too wobbly, I'll slow it down.
It looked like Tai Chi. Wow, look at the detail up there on that door. That is some amazing, well, is it carved? I suppose they're individual bricks, aren't they, to make the arch? That's very intricate. What can I see? I can see a face with two eyes and a mouth and a chin wearing a very funny ornate hat.
Oh, you're talking about me?
Yeah, no, not you. You do have a very ornate face.
Oh, you have to be looking at this for a certain angle.
Look through my camera.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, see? Although your hat and face is very ornate and beautiful too.
We're going to take a stroll all the way along there.
Shall we walk along the battlements a bit? Let's see if there's anyone invading. Do we think these holes were places to fire through for the bows and arrows maybe? Or are they a bit low down? Those ones definitely were. I know those were. So maybe the other ones were as well. There's windows in every direction, but they're not really windows. These have all got arrow slits in. For the archers, should they have been invaded and needed to protect their castle. Oh my goodness, look at that amazing bench. And beautiful carvings. Now the children I look after would love to play with this, but I'd have to carve out the middle rather than having just sort of a suggestion of windows and rooms. I would actually have to carve out the middle so they could put knights and figures in there. How amazing. We can't get into this bit, unfortunately, but it looks like the river comes up through here and under the castle. Look at this amazing old door. I guess this is how they locked it into place. Would this have lifted? Not really sure. How amazing is that? It's believed that before this had a big tree growing in it, it was possibly the Countess's private sitting room, which is a bit posh, isn't it? I mean, her private sitting room is bigger than the floor plan of my house. I imagine it did take some heating though, especially when you didn't have, you know, radiators and such things. But apparently this tower was built in 1215 by William Marshall, and it's called Marshall's Tower. But it was demolished in 1662. And that there is the direction that all of those arrow slits were pointing in. You can see there's a steep side that would have been tricky for people to get up. And imagine none of those trees or buildings or houses. Would have been able to see for miles. That there is the section we can't get to, where the water obviously comes in underneath. And there's now a bridge. Apparently this is the Great Tower. Wow, there is a lot of fireplaces, I guess. What's that, 3 stories? You can see the little holes where the floor joists would have gone, and then more up there. And the window frames, you would have seen the windows would have come right down to floor level. So you could stand in that window. Look at that. And then these magnificent arches, and then I don't know if I can show you on this camera, but at the top there are some faces. Grotesques, I guess. Maybe not, they're not very grotesque, maybe they are just, you know, people who were here that have been depicted on the carvings. You can imagine how amazing this would have been back in its day, when it was at its finest. Now the seagulls seem to have made it their home. Look at that, it's huge. That would have been very high quality decoration, which we've not seen in the other parts of this building. This dates back to Norman time, And that chamber, I don't know if you can see, those little recesses have got like a crisscross. It's hard to see, but the plaster has been decorated, especially this middle one you can see, has been decorated with different coloured plasters in like a crisscross pattern. These arches were put in 1230, and they would have had 2 arches, one there and then one there to join, and that would have separated that whole top floor, and obviously supported the roof as well in the middle. Right at the top was a bed chamber, so I guess those arches supported the bed chamber actually rather than the roof itself. I think you can see the remains of the spiral staircase in that corner there. It would have taken you up to the different levels. And with this tower being Norman, dating back to around 1067, it makes it the oldest part of Chepstow Castle. The first part of the castle that was built before it was extended over the years. According to Imo, who has knowledge of all things, this is a very old doorway, and it's obviously in here to protect it. These amazing doors until 1962 were hung at the main castle gateway, and then they took them down and had them like replicas made and hung, I guess, so these could be preserved. And then they had these chronologically dated, which is the tree ring dating for wood, and they were found to have been the oldest castle doors in Europe. So yeah, that's quite a claim to fame. They were made no later than 1190. That's very old. Look at those rivets, holding it all together. They're riveting. They are riveting. You imagine having to cut those out, shape them, wouldn't they? Because they wouldn't even be sheets of metal. They would be, I don't know, melted down from the ore, and then, I don't know, iron ore, wouldn't it? And then each nail would have been shaped as well. That would have taken some time. I'm having a sort of cream tea. Unfortunately, they had run out of cream, so I'm just having jam on scones. And no, they're not gluten-free, but neither was my sandwich earlier on, so I'm having a gluten day. And I've got myself a cup of tea, and I got Imo a Coke, and then I got myself a full-fat Coke, which are icy cold, are they not? They are lovely. Have you had a nice day?
Lovely.
Good. I have too.
I'll just go over here then, isn't it?
Oh, well, I don't know if it's that wide. We're meant to be socially distancing, you know. We can say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, I'm going to get my train. See you.
It's been a pleasure. I miss you already.
Me too, bye.
Wales. Not Wales. And Wales. Spog's in England. And I'm in Wales. How about that? Spog's in England. I'm in Wales.
Where are you going? I'm trying to be socially distant.
Should we do it like this? Shall we start again?
Yeah.